that more aggressive tendency, anyways, right? So
definitely some of those. We see it really just even in draft, which we may see a Pantheon taken away.
Yeah, Pantheon and Diana are kind of the two that get put on the table in any time that Reds comes up.
Definitely part of the conversation, at the very least. And part of the conversation as well, Jarvan, whenever Whittle's in the game.
Well, and something we haven't even gotten to talk about yet is the fact that there's a brand new patch. And we haven't even talked about the new items, the champion reworks, everything they took out. So, we really will have to talk more if something comes up in game. But there are new boots, there's new starter items. There have been reworks to a lot of the items in the game in general.
There's all kinds of things. We got tweaks to Gragas, tweaks to Teemo, Shyvana, Zoe, Zeri, Xin. There's a lot to cover, and then the runes.
Yeah, so we'll pay a little bit closer attention than we usually do to the items in the rune selection here,
we'll
just because it's kind of give us some conversation. Usually we just look at the gameplay strictly, but we'll get into the nitty gritty a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so Ivern and Jarvan banned away. Whittle has looked really good on those two, a little bit suspect on everything else. I will say he did have Diana jungle, and with Reds on the team now, also being able to pilot Diana, that's an obvious flex pick in my opinion.
That's a nice
for this team. So I don't know if they'll go to the well on their first week together, but I think that Zon should be looking at that long term. Nefiri here. First pick locked in.
Yeah, banning away the Rengar, leaving the Nefiri available. I imagine this is going to go to Frostlight in the jungle, where you're having Spike switch to mid lane. I don't think Spike plays Nefiri, so I imagine this is a first pick jungle Nefiri. And I don't think Whittle's going to be super excited about that. I don't think he likes playing against a Nefiri. And we're going to have a tank to answer. This is probably going to be a Sejuani jungle, but it could also go to the top lane for TJ.
It could, but after what we saw earlier in the season,
I'm expecting Sejuani. When Malphite hovered as well, we're going to go ahead and round out the top side of the map.
Make a lot of sense.
Just grab that double tank lineup.
Yeah, so, Malphite fine into Nefiri, just in case it does go top lane. We don't know a ton about Griff, and so I'm not sure, this could be a top lane Nefiri, and they just pick comfort for him. That would be
wild.
Yeah,
a misdirect. It would be great.
You never know, but a lot of times you bring in a brand new player who hasn't had that much stage experience. It's nice to just let them feel comfortable, right? Just let them play their champion.
Let them just be strong and then show up to the fight and do their thing. Nasus locked in, going to be the answer to TJ's Malphite in the top side. So
I don't mind that. Nasus has a pretty free lane in a Malphite. And you can also, if you're Griff, if this is a top lane Nasus, you can kind of just work your way in, get rid of the jitters, stack your Q, relax a little bit. If you don't really have to play the game until 25 minutes if you're a Nasus.
Yeah, so. You do if you have an Elise on your team. Is this a callback to perhaps some Dan Elise support?
It could be.
Where is this Elise?
It could be support. That's been out of meta for more than 2 years at this point. But it does have that crowd control. It is obviously a lot better with the repel at ganking and playing from the jungle, but not a champion that we've seen Frostlight on a lot. I will say with Nefiri and Elise, there's a ton of burst here.
Yeah.
So they're going to be wanting to find fights from the edges, but if Malphite gets an ultimate on top of both the dog and the spider, they're going to blow up. So I think that they might. I don't know what Bilgewater's going to do. We'll see second round of bans come through here, but it looks like they're really deciding that they want to go for some picks on the side of Bilgewater. Meanwhile, the much more traditional team fight composition already kind of rounding out on Zon.
Yeah, taking away that Pantheon we mentioned earlier. So, of course, we see top lane jungle support selected. So we can expect to see mid lane bans and AD carry bans coming through against Zon Plague. I think that this Lulu Malphite Sejuani absolutely puts all of the so much pressure onto Inferno at very least. To be that, this is Lulu comp. This is a hyper carry.
It's going to be a 2-carry comp, and whatever Reds and Inferno lock in, they're going to have to be the 2 carries to win them. And honestly, this is going to be very indicative of how Zon can play this season. Obviously, this is their first game. They will improve from here. But, if they can come out here and they can pick this game off from Bilgewater again, beat them twice in the regular season,
that'd be feeling pretty happy.
That'd be very indicative that they're playing very well. I think a lot is going to be asked of them, but they are the carries for a team in the top 3. They have to deliver. They have to perform. All right, Caitlyn banned away. Nyla banned away as well. Shout out to
we've
the
gone from one smolder
Nyla
ban
Tar.
to now 4 AD carry bans after the second round.
A lot of options here for.
I gotta imagine, yeah,
Inferno.
it's gotta be the marksman coming through so we can save the mid counter pick, and a
Okay.
Kaisa locked in. This isn't Agateo.
I was expecting Xayah here. I actually think Xayah would have gone really well with the Lulu and the Malphite, but Kaisa instead, a bit more dive.
A bit more agency as well.
We'll have to see if he's able to, land some impactful ultimates and dodge out of any important abilities with it. My gut was saying Xayah there, so the Kaisa is definitely a different pick. Let's see what Crispy selects here. It is going to be Ahri, and that pairs with Elise beautifully. So they have gone kind of all in on this pick comp. You know, the Charm, the Cocoon, the Wither, the Neferi over the top. It's all there for their team. And now we just got to round it out with some pick from Crispy. Really open to play anything. If you go late scaling, you'll be the only one. If you go... I mean, honestly, like, to help with their pick.
He looks like the Vayne Hover. Teemo.
Okay.
What just happened? Okay, I need to go look at the patch notes. Teemo got changed. Alright. What happened?
I think it's pretty minor changes.
Our third Lost Play style on-hit focused Teemo builds have been slowly fallen out of vogue as he's been tuned around Malignance and Leandries.
Diana locked in here.
So there's the Diana. We've got the Diana Sejuani Malphite.
Yep.
This is a scary top side of the map.
You've got melees in top lane and mid lane for Sejuani.
So the Teemo changes are a new additional damage bonus AD ratio on Toxic Shot, the E. 10% bonus AD, and the dot damage has a 30% bonus AD ratio over 4 seconds. So basically you get more damage on your poison from AD Teemo now. So curious, we'll see how that goes. That is a Teemo Elise bot lane.
I do kind of expect it to be AD Teemo. Teemo Elise, non-traditional, and I think should just straight out lose. Kaisa has a pretty weak lane until a first item comes in. And Elise is pretty strong, definitely has the burst. But if Kaisa and Lulu don't give over an early kill, Teemo and Elise should just lose to Kaisa as the game goes on.
I'm getting a terrible sound in my headphones. That's awful. I hope that wasn't being broadcast to everybody. Oh, and there's no sound.
Yeah, you turn the sound off.
Great.
Just do it. Just do it.
Somebody let me know in the chat if sound is terrible and wrong, please, because it sounds terrible and wrong to me. But I'm hoping it doesn't for you. Somebody let me know in the chat if sound is terrible and wrong, please, because it sounds terrible. All right, I'm just gonna try to ignore it, unless somebody tells me the sound is wrong. This is what it's like if you want to hear. Terrible and garbled. I can't hear it. So, until somebody tells me that the sound is wrong, I'm gonna proceed assuming that it's fine for everybody else. And it's just about for me.
A little bit here, repels away. Good trade back though, able to land that skill shot from Inferno. I think Kalka, walking up there, but did not have Crispy with him. Actually, not on the same page. So, looks like both of our junglers clearing topside, heading down bot. Have to see where they end up going. It looks like TJ with an early push in, but Kalka again going to throw out that cocoon. Will land onto Yoni. Yoni will go down. It's first blood as the poison comes through, and it goes over to Crispy and Bilgewater, and they win the 2v2 down there. Look at all this. I mean, the blind from Crispy. So much damage onto Inferno. Flash in from Kalka. It just deletes him, and he will go down as he decided he wanted to take that fight. Meanwhile, blinded again. Whittle has to tuck tail. And the flash away, so not only the double kill, but also the jungler's flash. Kalka and Crispy dominating here in the 2v2. Pretty much what I said was this lane was fine as long as you didn't give them kills. Now they've given them kills. I think they're in quite a bit of trouble.
Yeah, gonna be looking to try to play this from the back foot. We mentioned that there was a patch, and both of our AD carries have started with the new Doran's, is it bow?
Yeah, you can hover it.
Yeah, Doran's recurve bow. So it's, yeah, Doran's bow. So it gives you attack speed and damage, but no health, notably. So could have helped them out there. And Whittle Guy, forced to flash away, I think could have survived, but he definitely didn't want to give over a kill after being chunked out. Able to clear the rest of the jungle. We're going to see Whittle Guy clearing opposite from Frostbite at this point, going for separate scuttles. I'm going to see how it shakes out for the rest of the map. Spike sitting at a nice CS lead for himself over Reds. And both of our junglers resetting. And BLT setting themselves up for a nice early game off the back of Crispy and Kalka's proactive level 2.
Alright, so things stabilized a little bit, but already the Zon bot lane, feeding over 2 kills early. That is really bad for their chances of winning this game. And we'll have to see if they're able to find a way back into it. I mean, Kaisa and Lulu, I think, yeah, it's just a weaker lane, and they've made that much more difficult for them. Kalka walking up pretty much has a completely free lane here. Should be able to just dominate this and control the control the pace, control the play. I mean, I think you could just walk in this bush and own it. Yeah, Yoni and Inferno having to play so scared here. So, yeah, and just look at this. Yep.
Kalka just saying,
I mean,
hey,
this is what I mean.
Us.
He could just stand up here and just completely zone them off. This is what lane can get to be like. I mean, that.
But then Kalka taking half his HP just on the back of that trade, and the way it is coming towards them. So I like the patience, not forcing the fight before they're ready for it.
They're going to need a lot of help from Whittle down here. And so what that means is if we, I guess Reds is on a reset here, does not have teleport, was waiting in base for boots maybe, just to get enough gold. Yeah, it means that our solo lanes for Zon are very self-reliant. They have to find a way in this game to not need jungle attention, because Whittle has got to babysit down here now.
Whittle, I think, just showed on his vision.
Yep, and that will dissuade any, you can see instantly Crispy and Kalka backing right up. Now, Frostbite smells blood in the water as well. Not playing Warwick, but still playing a dog. And so, wants to come down here and get in on the action. And there is no ward here placed. They find some damage there on a Kalka, but it won't be enough. Okay, Whittle with good timing does find Frostbite. Let's see how this 1v1 goes. They're pretty even so far. The headbutt into Frostbite, but Frostbite has the early roam, and that's what we talked about in the draft, was how quickly our mid laners would roam. Looked like Spike was maybe, 2 seconds earlier, and so they do have to back up. I will say, I was surprised. Whittle just won that 1v1 between the junglers, so I thought that Nefiri would have won that, but only on a pickaxe does not win it. Maybe now that the Brutalizer has come in, maybe.
I think a lot of the times in the matchup, in a duel, the tank jungler I'm expecting to come out in a lot of trades unless there's sustain from the assassin player. But Nefiri with just no ult to her name and just a singular pickaxe, yeah, I'm expecting Sejuani to win those trades.
Both junglers mid. Whittle's going to make the move for it. Level 6 does not expend ultimate. There's no ulti for Frostbite here. Down a level, only level 5. But initial engage misses, and they call it off. Kalka now on a deep roam. This is perhaps what he's known best for. This is abilities as a support out of the lane rather than in lane.
Looking for a gank into the mid lane. He's going to provide some pressure, but really not much to come of it.
Yep, and it's good. Good positioning from Reds. Honestly, really nice play from Reds there. He's looking pretty good his first game back here.
Kalka spotted back out on the return down. So Zon play, keeping track where everybody's at. And I think eyes need to be up here at Griff. We've got 400 HP.
The ulti in from TJ, the solo bolo under tower as he puts Zon on the board. And I was just going to, mention he's up 20 farm. He looks great. And Reds is going to go in on his own. That's Ignite down. Ultimate did not come through. No Starfall in from the Diana, but Ignite down. Ignite used. So I don't know about that.
I was going to say,
ulti,
like,
but-
patience, but he drops the ignite, but he's keeping Spike in kill
And
range
there,
for
he
sure.
gets the flash out. He has to flash himself as Frostite is there this time to try and protect his mid laner, and he is going to be there to pick up the counter kill. So overstep from Reds. Did not respect the roaming jungler, and Frostite read him like a book, knew that he would go for it twice. Spike baited that flash out very nicely.
Cost him his flash and his life. Trying for the re-engage on the play. And Kalka going in bottom, looks like. They're going to come for it. Let's watch Griff go in for the counter kill onto TJ. No unstoppable force available, but an engage bottom. Kalka dropped low. He's going to use the repel early, but able to drop away.
Yeah, that blind, there's a shield. They get a little bit of a trade. Look, you can just tell they're not on the same page, and they're going to all in onto Inferno. There's the ultimate going down, and they at least buy the space. Barrier coming out late, but he does not go down, and Kalka will drop. Nice timing there from Whittle. So both junglers showing up at convenient times for their lanes. Once for Frosthead, once for Whittle. Hoping their teams get some gold. We're back to 3-2. But Bilgewater definitely has the control here in this game. It's felt very sided towards the blue team. TJ is going to look for another all-in here. They both have flash. No unstoppable force, so does not decide to chase it down.
Yep, nothing to finish off the kill with, but going to be happy that he's able to hold his own so well in this lane. Of course, it's an Nasus. He's going to hit that inevitable break point and be able to duel TJ. Crispy with the flash forward trying to cancel this reset from Yoni. They will cancel the reset, but nothing else going to come of it. Crispy investing flash just for a canceled reset for this dragon. Kalka still level 5.
Yeah,
a lot of
Inferno's
damage
here, but
coming
they
down.
don't know that Frostite is here as well. They get the passive to proc. Kalka very low, does go in. Here is the Wild Growth down onto Inferno. They pick up one. The flash forward. Crispy low, trying to get away. Will a bit more damage come through the dove forward, and it's a double kill going over to Inferno. And so given over, Kalka and Crispy dead, experiencing gray screen. They've given over their kills. That's 3 kills onto the scaling Kaisa. And this lane has completely swung back into the favor of the traditional lane.
Yep. We've seen Inferno manage to find these just comeback plays, strong starts, whatever you want to call it, much more consistently than we have in previous seasons. And it's got to be off the back of working together with the Crimson Yoni and Whittle Guy, just finding the plays together and then making sure that the gold arrives onto Inferno as well.
Yeah, Red's finding himself in this lane. Feels confident. Knew that he almost had Spike, but he got bailed out by the jungler. Meanwhile, Kalka is roaming mid again. Reds will be able to back off. So Spike's flash will come up before Reds, and there could be an opportunity to find a little surprise there. So look for that. We know that Spike does have the ability.
Frosteye picking up those the grubs uncontested. 10 minutes into the game, we're sitting at 3-4, and only 200
Another
gold
dive
to
in.
the teams.
Here's the Starfall in from Reds. There's the charm, and does get the
Trades
the ultimate out.
Moon Call for the Spirit Rush. And with the dragon up, you're going to be sad that you don't have it for the dragon, but if they can start this up immediately before Spike is able to reset, it could force out a teleport on the play.
Yeah, pings are there. Is Whittle onto it? Can't tell. Yeah, that's the new. Just pointed out the brand new boots, the Omnivamp boots. It does look like Whittle is there onto the dragon, so they will get dragon on that reset. Let's take a moment to just hover the boots while we see them taking dragon. There's the new items in the game, the Gluttonous Greaves. They give stacking, just like Cho'Gath.
They
up
are
to 6
literally the
times.
Aatrox boots. I was right. They've got a quote from Aatrox on them.
Yeah. Here's another engage from TJ, and I was going to say, kill range again, and he finds the angle. TJ with a second solo kill top lane. This is already one of his best games of the year, just in terms of, not being down in farm, but able to find 2 solo kills. He's absolutely turning himself into a win condition for the Plague, and that's what you need when you bring in a new player. You got to show them the ropes, show them how to win. They're winning in top, they're winning in bot, they're helping Reds kind of find his feet. That's what Zon needs to do to find wins this season.
Yep, he caught me lacking, but now TJ's sitting at 1,500 gold up in his lane. He's got to complete a Malignance. He's got boots 3.
All right,
Feeling
Frostite
very
here.
comfortable.
A blind, but the blind came out early. Here's the Polymorph in, ultimate in, beautiful Wild Growth, and there goes the Glacial Prison in from Whittle. Kalka onto the backside, but Crispy left alone will go down, and now Kalka separated from his team. Spiderling will come through, but it's a support. There's not a completed AP item on that support, and so yeah, I think gonna have to escape, but they do. I guess they do let him out. I'm not sure if this is called out. Reds could be in trouble here. Is going to walk down into it. Where's the Cocoon? Cocoon actually hasn't come through yet. Kalka's still very low. Has nowhere to repel to. And it is going to be a kill. Goes over to the jungler of Whittle Guy. So that's 2 kills top, 4 kills down there. And Bilgewater falling apart, crumbling away here. I didn't mind the setup, but then the execution, so poor. This is not what we expect from our league-leading team.
It definitely isn't, and I think what it comes down to is they've found themselves all sitting around the tower, feeling powerful.
I mean, Red's
engaged here for the Moonfall. Spike dropped low. He has Spirit Rush available, but not forced to use it. Flash burned instead. And Red's keeping up the pressure, but not able to find a kill in the back.
Yeah, now he's got Flash. He's going to have Ignite come up and the ultimate as well. This Diane is going to be hunting Ahri all game.
I just think the reality is we saw them dive bot when barrier is up, heal is up, and Lulu has Gigantify.
Yeah,
so you can
growth,
go for the wild growth and just it's so hard to
look at
dive
this timing from Whittle.
No room.
They finally send attention topside, but Whittle is there as well, and here it comes. The ultimate in from Griff. Look at that beautiful stun will come through. They need to find the counter damage. Unstoppable movement there from TJ. Why can I not say that ability? Frosteye has to flash
low
out.
He escaped. Frosteye burning, but no damage will take him down as Whittle Guy's red buff. Fop drops off. Whittle Guy spots out. They realize Kalka's in the bush, but TJ flashes forward and then is executed by Kalka with the Elise support roam. We know that Kalka loves to go for these roam plays, and it's got to feel good to have it pay off right here. Whittle Guy 300 HP will dash over the wall, but the Wither is following. Griff is at 100 HP, but it's enough to finish Whittle with the Cocoon landing.
Poor decision making from Whittle and TJ to re-engage on that. They took the 2v3. They won that 2v2. They forced Frostite out, got the flash out of the jungler, but then
I think they pulled a 2v3 that they could have just been happy with the pressure that they had, but no dice. Walking back out, Whittle Guy's going to be still has flash, still has smite as a jungler, but going to be missing that ulti, but finding some good plays. Griff, no! Man, 2 weeks in a row for the Nasus dying to a tower. I really didn't see that one coming. Griff, no.
You gotta say you're lying, dude.
Oh, that's a whoopsie. That's a whoopsie.
All right, well, at least that one wasn't a kill. So that is an execute to tower. Just a quick reset. If Matt was here, he'd love it.
Yeah, it's the fastest way back to base. It really is.
Okay, I think objective. Let's check the objective timers here because I am interested in what's coming out.
Yeah, dragon in 1 minute.
Dragon. I think we're within 1,000 gold, but both these teams feel pretty comfortable fighting. 3 kills onto Elise, but not really where you want all your gold. Storm Surge is there. Okay, Inferno, Wild Growth out. This Flash barrier. They need to find a way to actually turn some damage here. Frostite, no flash. Here, the ultimate back in from Inferno, but he's so low. He chose to go forward there. And Whittle and Yoni are these are not the damage duo that you need at this point of the game. And beautiful play from Bilgewater.
Even the end of the play.
Yeah, and another.
Inferno is the core of the damage. Inferno has to play for. I don't care if everyone else dies, I need to be the last one standing.
I feel like we just watched Zon throw away 5 kills and they just threw the game. And that's hard to watch because they put themselves in a position to win. But Bilgewater is there with the mitt, and they catch the throw. And so now Bilgewater with a pretty significant lead. They're going to get Tower, they're going to get Dragon here, and this is going to put them way up in gold and in tempo. So nice advantage here now for Bilgewater, and we take a look at the advantages in their lanes. I mean, 30 farm here for Spike. He's got those the boots that we mentioned, the tier 3. So he's got 5% extra damage now when he's above half health. When he goes below half health, it's 15% extra healing. So pretty.
What is with people in, like these kind of? What is this Ahri build? I'm going Omnivamp boots and a Malignance. This is a wild build. Anyway, engage on a Kulka from Whittle Guy. There's nothing to repel to, so Kulka going to try to cut back the other direction before our here to surround him. And man,
yeah, it's a shutdown because that's a 4 kill. So
yeah, it's a 4 kill with only AP. So this game, Kulka is just you get caught, it's a pop.
But that's at least every game, right? So
it is. How many games of release does Kulka got as a support?
That's
I don't know.
Fair question.
But it's looked pretty comfortable. Kulka finding a lot of success, but now 4-4-2 on the scoreline. And the game you mentioned had been thrown, and Kulka given a little soft underhand toss back the other direction, and so the momentum has flipped.
They decided 4K Gold Lead was too much, so it's only 3K now. But that is uncontested Herald that goes over. Spike with a level up, with the farm advantage, could have a way in. I think without the Sork boots is just straight up going to deal less damage, so will not have the ability to burst Reds, and should have some more survivability, you'd think. But I think that the Diana Ari matchup is all about who can burst out who and who can dodge whose abilities. So TJ here continuing to use his passive to do just fine in lane, is going to get a couple autos down. Malignance is completed, so we'll be looking to ultimate. And Whittle finds Kulka again. There's the passive taken up, but Crispy and Frosthead are hiding here. They don't know that they're there. The engage in from Frosthead onto the backline. Yoni and Inferno are both found. It's a double kill already as they both go down. It's a triple kill as he dives over the wall. And Frostide finds 3, and Bilgewater makes a decisive team play with their vision. Here's the engage here from Reds trying to find the solo kill, and it's a solo kill bot lane. As he at least gets something back.
TJ, 3v1 in the top side. He's got his unstoppable force. He will drop it. TJ dropped very low, and the tower will not be enough to save him as Griff tanks it up and walks away. They have so many options to tank this tower here with Nefiri aggro reset, the Elise aggro reset, and then the Nasus just throw in HP bars at the situation. Yeah. And TJ will be forced out 3v1 under his own tower.
Yeah, I mean, Reds just took advantage of this matchup. Crispy is here, though. It's an overstay. It's a classic LCC play where you do something good and then you stay too long. Reds is going to try and find some damage on the way back. Does get a nice burst there.
It was close.
But
that was close.
Yeah, Crispy just had way too much HP.
He did. But it was close. It could have happened.
All right, pretty messy game here, but Bilgewater up 6K. And they're going to look to, I'm sure, find a way forward. Herald will be spawned here for Zon, so they are going to at least crack mid-tier 1 open. Oh, they need just a bit more damage. They don't actually get it. And that's pretty significant. Flash in. They find the Polymorph, but it's too little too late. There's the Charm. There's the Burst. And Inferno caught out again. And this is going to be Bilgewater. They might turn their attention straight in onto the Baron.
Yeah, we mentioned this is a two-carry composition, and it's just gotta have to be that Inferno. You have to play safe, and that Xayah, it gives you the opportunity to just say, okay, I'm just gonna ult and get my way out of this. But you still have some ability with that killer instinct.
If you use barrier and you get the Lulu ultimate and you still die, you're in the wrong spot. All right, Whittle guy now walking forward with his team, but he's really the only one there. They're going to find one. They find 2. Reds finds a bit of an engage, but Spike able to dash over the wall, and the rest of Bilgewater will peel off. TJ in. It's the whiff to the side, and it's a double kill as all 5 go down. Bilgewater will finally turn their full team attention onto the Baron, and that was, yeah, I mean, they threw it together. They needed to try something. This is just the best that they could do at this point in time. Watch Reds here. He's going to try and find Spike.
Like a blind over the wall.
Crispy flashes out of that damage. But yeah, I mean, by the time that he finds it, that's really all there is to it. TJ with the whiff, as we saw. And yeah, it's Bilgewater 18-19, or 18-9 rather, in kills. Almost 10K up now at 21 minutes.
Yeah, as I scrub us forward, we can take a peek in at all of the gold differences. But I gotta say, it's not looking good for Zonplague after the end of that Baron fight. It just did not go their way. And really off the back of that pick onto Inferno in the mid lane. And so Zonplague are going to look to keep their lanes pushed out and figure out how they can get through these team fights with some sort of success. Because Nasus is continuing to scale up. We can go check in on our Nasus stacks as we slow this down back to about live. Teams are now interacting.
I mean, I just want to
315 stacks on our
speak
Nasus.
about Bilgewater quickly. Crispy and Frosthead have looked good all season, so we're no stranger to the two of them having fantastic games, and it's the same again here tonight. They're the two that are playing great. Kulka has definitely been an instigator of a lot of their good plays as well, but has also been caught out a handful of times. Frosthead and Crispy, pretty hard to say on their side. They've been consistent players. Pretty much everywhere that they show up, it's gone well for them. They've played right to the edge. I mean, multiple times Frosthead flashing out just at the last moment. So both these players just really having great years, entire years. But, you know, here again, having another great game for Bilgewater. Two, pillars that you can rely on when you need to win a game.
Yep, and another one of our new items, Omni Vamp Boots, also in for Frostide on this very successful Nefiri match. 7-0 and 6, perfect match so far.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot more sense on Nefiri than on the Ari. All right, Kalka and Frostide walking up. Yeah, Inferno at this point really doesn't have a good way in.
Engage attempted bot side for Whittle Guy and Reds, but nothing to come of it. Spike not forced to drop the Spirit Rush.
Yeah, ultimates aren't used by either side, so kind of a half-hearted attempt. Whittle now, has an idea looking mid.
There absolutely is a big difficulty presented for Bilgewater, and that's they don't have a good siege. They've got Teemo, they've got this ability to push
Ultimate
over
in
on the
from
sides.
Griff. He could find a way forward. The flash in, the Wither's down. One more Q. He will stack it, and he gets one of his own.
Yeah.
Griff finds a solo kill in top lane onto TJ. He used that late game build, and he finally got those stacks just when it mattered. There goes some massive ultimates out. The Wild Growth to save Inferno, and the Glacial Prison swinging wide for Zon. So massive ultimates used. TJ going down topside. And if they had a white flag, they might wave it at this point because it's looking all Bilgewater right now.
Yep, we mentioned that it was a risky bot lane, but Bilgewater played for their level 2. They found it, and just time and time again, they showed that they were able to pilot this more risky matchup. And do we want to evaluate some takeaways on this Marksman Teemo as the game, we would assume, is dwindling? We've got 6-2-6. We've got...
Okay, Reds has an angle here. Forces flash out. Will flash in himself. Charm just missing from Spike, but there's still a ton of damage Spike could find here. It will Spirit Rush away, and so they agree to disengage. Frostside here. This should be a solo kill angle. There's the barrier, but it's way too little when you have an AD assassin in your face, and Frostside picks up another. I believe that's his 8th of the game, just dominating right now on the Nefiri.
Yeah, Inferno flashing over to try to desperately save his marksman, but in the end, his marksman will die in his arms. Terrible, sad. 52,000 to 39,000 on the board for Bilgewater against Zon Plague. Week 9, 2 dragons to 1, 7 towers to 1. Bilgewater are knocking on the gates. And really just a question of how are they going to break the gates open at this point, because it's difficult. But they're just going forward 1-3-1 and finding kills and then taking the tower out.
Yeah, they have a 12,500 gold lead. They can really pick and choose, do whatever they want. We're still only 25 minutes in, so
and what they want appears to be a 2-0-3 split at the moment.
To be
but
collected
they've got
here.
Eyes on the rotation.
Charm onto TJ, and he will go down. That's a 9th kill for Frostide. Meanwhile, the rest of the team, topside, Wither down, engage back from Reds just to try and do something. But yeah, they get him there. I mean, and that's a Wither pick.
Yeah.
And that's his Wither. So yeah,
That'll be game.
Yeah, it's game. It's game for sure. I think if you're Zon, you take a look at the double kill they gave over topside into the immediate triple kill bot side, giving over those 5 kills when they had a pretty nice lead and momentum. They just gave over too much at that point in the game. Here's a nice pick here from Kalka. Does find one under tower. So this is going to be end of game in Bilgewater. They survive. They bring in Griff as the short-term contract, and they walk out with a win. So great win here for Bilgewater. Congrats.